Good morning, beautiful souls. This is Cynthia here with your daily tarot card of the day. And this week we are using the tarot of the Sephiroth. And there's information about that in the description box below. A lot of beautiful imagery and symbolism from the Kabbalistic texts and, Jewish Hebrew mysticism. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to take a moment and tune into the collective energies for today. And please remember that these messages are general, that come through for the day, and they are timeless. So whenever you're inspired to watch this video, there's likely a message here for you. But I do encourage you to just take what resonates and leave the rest. If the messages that I'm delivering don't seem to be for you, or you don't feel sort of tapped on the shoulder by spirit when you see the card, then maybe today's not the day for this one, which is perfectly wonderful and okay. And yeah, that's beautiful. And if you're here and you continue watching and you get something wonderful out of it, that's absolutely amazing. And I love that. I love it all. It's all wonderful. So I invite you to take a moment to tune into your own intuition, your own higher self, your own spirit guides, your own innate wisdom, so that whatever card shows up, you yourself might receive your own personal direct message. I'm hearing cut the cards. We're going to cut the cards. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, that's lovely. We have the Queen of Wands. And look at her. She's just all lit up with fire, man, and power. That's really beautiful, beautiful energy. I do believe that that's the astroglyph for Pisces, which is interesting to have that Piscean water with a fiery card, which lends itself to the idea of the queen being the feminine and having that water aspect to her, but she's also highly intuitive. And so it's almost like your true desires, your true passions, the true love that you have for life. It's almost like there's something being revealed in today's energy, something being opened up or revealed to you, in terms of, or a spark lit for you in terms of some kind of a passion or purpose, or as the Japanese call it, ikigai, reason for waking up in the morning, right? Purpose, mission, passion, and it's igniting that within you. So the Pisces symbol seems to be more connected to the queen aspect of this card rather than the wands aspect. But it's about like the soul passion. It's what's truly wanted. You know what I mean? With all of your heart, and being able to focus your attention and your energy wisely on that. It's not burning yourself out or burning the candle on both ends, so to speak. It's about lighting your torch and passing that torch on, and being able to share your light with the world around you in everything that you do. Whether you end up taking that passion and making a career out of it, or whether you end up taking that passion and just like embodying it and living it in your own life, and then that naturally infuses whatever you do with your purpose, your mission, your energy. And it will always bring you enough. So even if you don't think the salary of the 9 to 5 or the part-time job or this, that, the other thing is necessarily enough, if you like something about it and appreciate it and love it enough as it is, paycheck aside, to actually continue to do it, it might not be your passion, but it still has something that satisfies you, right? Aside from the paycheck. So that paycheck might then still be enough, because whatever you do to direct your passion in other ways, whether you have a creative side project, and you like to, go to flea markets and farmers markets, because you're passionate about gardening and you have extra. So you figure, okay, once or twice a month, I can go to the farmers market and just set up a table and whatever, right? That could, be enough to just because you're satisfied about gardening. It doesn't mean you have to be a professional gardener. It doesn't mean you have to open up a plant shop or you have to have a produce stand or this, that, the other means. It means that you have enough to share whatever it is that you're passionate about. But you also don't have to worry about your physical material needs being met, because you're simply living what it is that you love to do, and all of those needs, and you're satisfied with how things are going on, right? So I'm feeling like the energy of this card and the fact that that Piscean symbol jumped out at me, talking about the Queen and the Queen of Wands and that passionate spark and everything like that. I feel like there's an energy of something opening up for you. There's something, it could be an opportunity, but it could just be like an idea, an aha moment, this deep sense of satisfaction that comes from something. And, maybe you hadn't noticed or realized it before, but you're in this, this energy today that just makes it really obvious to you, like, wow, I am satisfied. I am really passionate about this. I do really appreciate this. And that kind of gives you like this lighthearted sense of appreciation. And then that sparks the passion of sort of awakening something within you. And that in and of itself, as a creative spark, can light up anything that you do, whether it's something creative, whether it's something in nature, whether it's something communicative or business or practical, or just sharing who you are with the world, right? Again, lighting the torches and sharing that light with the world. There's a lot of power here. And there's a lot of power here, and there's a lot of opportunity. And the other interesting thing that I want to mention, just because it just struck me, at the time that I'm actually recording this, it's a new moon. And I haven't looked at the guidebook on what this is in the picture, but this dark aspect made me think of the balsamic or the dark moon before the new crescent appears in the sky. So it makes me think of this phase. So there's something, even if you're watching this at a time where that's not necessarily the moon phase, there's this aspect of the fourth quarter dark moon, new moon, this emptying energy. It's almost like there's so much release and relaxation and like inner peacefulness that when we sit with that for a moment, suddenly, like the new moon being the first sliver of light of the moon coming in visibly into the sky, that's almost like the spark being lit up again. And so there's this aspect of maybe doing a meditation around the new moon, either a at the time that I'm recording this, or, check an astrological calendar or farmer's almanac, find out when the next one is for you whenever you're watching this. Doing this meditation of just going within in the stillness and the darkness like the moon, and allowing that emptying process. When you strip away everything else, when you think in terms of, well, what if I had every survival need met, and I was truly free to just be who I am, to be myself, to be authentic? What am I passionate about? What am I seeing that my purpose or mission or passion is around? And, you could start off with a general statement if you're not really sure what the answer to that is, or if you just open-end it and see if your answer has changed. Because sometimes we go through big transformations in life, and it could be like the thing you thought was your purpose or your mission, or like this is your thing. If it was too broad, Spirit could have brought you through a series of transformations and learnings that says, well, yes, it is, but it's a little bit more refined than that. It's a little bit more specific. We're going to niche you down just enough because, this is an important part of who you are, right? Or it could be the reverse. You could have something that you're really passionate about, that you enjoy a lot. It could be a hobby. It could be part of your career. It could be an interest, that feeds into, and you've done it in such a way where it actually like works into your hobbies, your career, your lifestyle, your social circles, right? Like it's sort of pervasive in all of these things. And yet you haven't honed in or narrowed down on what that thing is. And you say, oh, I'm interested in everything. I love everything. I explore so many different things. This is my career, and this is my hobbies, and, this is what I do, and blah, 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 blah. And Spirit might be saying, well, okay, that's wonderful, and you can manage that and balance it really well. The reason you like all of those things is because it fits under this umbrella, and this is your spark. This is the radiance of your light. You know what I mean? So so it can change over time, right? To a certain degree. We can think that this is the thing, and we realize we've been so focused on that, and we've been learning all of these other lessons, only to take a step back and realize, oh my goodness, that's only one part of it. Wow, I didn't know that all of these different interests and skills actually feed into something even bigger. That's amazing. You know what I mean? And so instead of just focusing all your energy in this one area, and maybe or maybe not giving yourself time to tap into those other areas, now that you've stepped back and you see that there's actually a common theme or thread in there, now you've just broadened your horizons so much. So there could be something in terms of shifts or changes. It's not that your purpose has necessarily changed, but what you're passionate about or your shifting interests could be pointing you in a specific direction that's actually going to tie everything together. Just a quick example that I want to share with you that might clarify anything that's fallen out of my mouth up to this point, because they showed it to me. So at one point I was getting inundated with these different ideas for like books, and I would get, an introductory paragraph, or I would get like a topic and then like a paragraph about that topic, or I would get like a title, like a book title or something. And this went on for quite a few years. I want to say probably about like 5 years, right? And I will say, like, two of the manuscripts I started, and the others were just kind of like ideas on a page. And I got to a point where, I had pretty well finished one manuscript, and it had turned into something, even along the way, it had turned into something a little bit different. And then the other one I hadn't picked up for quite a while. And then the third one, I had picked like one of those topics, titles, paragraphs or whatever that I had made note of. And I started writing it. And then I was looking, and I was trying to do the outline for the book. And I was looking at all of those other ideas for different books that came through. And I realized that out of a list of, let's say, 12, that at least 7 of them were all intertwined, that they were actually the chapters of one book. They were all following a similar theme, but they were coming at the whole subject from slightly different angles. But the research to go into those would have been very similar, if not the same, in a lot of ways. And I just was absolutely stunned and so grateful to and appreciative of Spirit in that moment. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it took me 9 years to realize that all of those subjects here, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm so overwhelmed, I need to put aside more time for writing. Spirit keeps giving me these great ideas, or I keep seeing different articles or different authors that, have research that would fit into what I'm doing. And I need to, remember to look that up. I need to remember to do this, that, the other thing. And I would kind of like beat myself up for not being able to like go through, like finish, like take an idea, finish it, and then move on to the next one and kind of run down that whole list that Spirit had given me. And I realized in that moment, like, oh, Spirit's been walking me through an entirety step by step. They haven't been giving me things for my to-do list. They've been giving me the bits and pieces as I needed them, as I could handle them, as I started. And in that moment, when I saw that bigger picture, I was like, wow, that's awesome. That's amazing. That's wonderful. And so I'm kind of like getting that feeling when it comes to purpose, passion, mission. I'm getting that feeling like all this time you've been getting the step by step, or you've been getting the bits and pieces. And if you take this new moon type of energy, that step back and that empty yourself out, sort of strip away the other stuff, noise energy, and get centered, that you might find that overarching theme, or that connective tissue is what I heard, that connecting thread, that sort of brings everything that you thought was like so much going on out there, kind of like brings it together. And you realize, wow, this is all a part of, that bigger picture. And you can step into your own personal power with this queen that way. So with that, I wish you a lot of peace and blessings. A wonderful day to you. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm wishing you a lot of, yes, peace, blessings, and passion.